Okay, so today is the last day that Jen Gash's picture is going to be on the farm. She's been working away on it for about 3 weeks in our dry cow shed, and it's now going to be picked up to be taken off to London to appear at the Imperial War Museum. Now I did at the start of this video kind of make it a bit of a mystery of what it's all about, and then we had Sky TV here to do a bit of filming, and I interviewed the producer, and she gave you a kind of an idea of what the project was all about. But we're going to go and have a look at the finished painting, and Jen will tell us a little bit more about her involvement with the picture, with Sky TV, and what she's been doing. So let's go and have a look how she's going. As you are well aware, this video's broadcast quite a bit after I filmed it, because I had to hold it back until the TV series had been released. Anyway, let's go and see how she goes. Hello, hello. Oh, artist in residence. Hey, what are you doing? Are you sitting back feeling relaxed now? Now you've almost finished, or are you stressing, or are you?
I'm not stressing. I'm pondering.
Pondering.
I do quite a bit of pondering.
That's good. I like a ponder. It's always good to ponder, because the thing is, you need to think things through in your head for how things work out, don't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the main one's finished, and I'm just.
Wow, look at this.
The green one is also going to go.
Yeah, that's going up to London as well.
Yeah, and there's just one or two tiny things
that
I'm pondering to do to
ponder.
the green one.
Lovely.
Because it's at the stage where if you kind of like don't ponder too much, but also you can be a bit too ponderous and not do anything. It sounds like a bit of a paradox, that, but you know what I mean. It's sort of
right. So I'm gonna ask you. I've just done a little bit of interview earlier on, to myself, to the camera, a piece to the camera, and I was just saying how when we started this project I didn't give much away, but then we had your producer out and she explained a little bit. But I'm going to start at the scratch. So you are an artist, and how would you say you're an independent person who works from home, or? Yeah,
well, I have a studio in Thornbury at Clash Studios, but that's quite recent. I've worked from home mostly for quite a few years now. I'm also an occupational therapist and a coach, so a lot of people will know me not just for my painting, but for other work I do.
How did this end up being involved with Sky then?
Yeah, so about 3 years ago, they launched a new Landscape Artist of the Year competition. So they had a portrait competition for the last for a few years before that, and they launched a landscape one, and I applied 3 years ago just for a laugh, really. My friend and I went along, and we were what they call wildcard artists, so we didn't get a place, but we just turned up and painted. And we had such a brilliant time, we decided we'd go sort of apply next year, but purely to be wildcard artists and just turn up. Last year I was just a bit too busy work-wise and other things, family life and stuff, so I didn't apply. But I did this year, and I got an actual place, which is kind of like a proper contestant in these like little pod things. And yes, and you go off, and I went to Broadstairs, to the seaside in Kent, and painted a picture there. And I don't know, I suppose you know what happens, don't you?
Well, the people who are watching this video might not. So let me just go back to Broadstairs. So you were on the beach painting. How many people were you painting with?
So there's 8 of us in these like little glass pod things. And you have 4 hours to paint a landscape painting.
Were you painting what you could see from the pod?
From the pod, yeah.
Right, okay.
So you could see the sea, you could see the harbour, you could see the beach, or if you really wanted to, you could turn around and paint the other end of the bay.
Right, okay.
So I sort of went middle and painted the sort of cliffs at Broadstairs and the big steps.
Yeah, famous cliffs, aren't they?
Yeah, famous cliffs and steps. So I did that rather than the sea.
That was quite good, because did everyone sort of latch onto the sea first of all, and you sort of turned it around and went from...
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful harbour, don't get me wrong, there's boats and things, but it's not really my cup of tea, painting harbour and boats, so I was never really going to kind of go for that.
Right.
And the cliffs were quite kind of nice and funky, really.
Right.
You're a funky farmer. I forgot that, I used the word funky.
Like funky, that's fine. I haven't copyrighted it.
The word.
So, from that was that an elimination round?
Yeah, so only one person wins the heat. So from the 8 people, it goes down to one person. Well, actually, they narrow it down to 3 on the day, but then one person wins that heat.
And you won that heat?
I won that heat, yeah.
And from that heat, where did you go from that heat?
Well, there were 6 other heats. So there
Six
was
other heats,
yes,
wasn't
not for me, but I mean for
No,
other
for the
people.
so
there were-
a
yes.
short list of 6 then, was it?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then those people went through to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Plus, I think 2 of the wildcard artists.
Right.
So there were 8 of us went through to the semi-final.
Crikey, quite a lot of pressure going through all these different stages, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it was a bit of a shock to get on the programme in the first place. It was even more of a shock to win my heat, and then we went through to the semi-final, which was in Felixstowe, and we painted. Well, the view in front of us was the massive container port cranes,
Right.
and the container ships that come in. So it was quite a different landscape.
Industrial landscape rather than a natural one then.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was
Different
one of the
challenges.
hottest days of the year in the summer. It was about 36 degrees.
Were you in one of those plastic pods then? On one of the hottest days?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like you're in a microwave.
Thankfully, it was breezy, but if you shut the pod flap at the back, it boiled. Yeah.
So potentially, I'm putting this on YouTube now.
Yeah.
I think December time. You did this in when? July,
In the
was
summer.
it?
Yeah,
And
July
then,
we were in Felix.
So this Sky Arts. So what is it? Sky Landscape Painter of the Year has been broadcast now as I film this.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like talking about stuff that people might have seen.
Yep.
And I'm going to put this on the internet after the big reveal, which is what, Jen?
Well,
what happened to you?
Well, from the semi-final, I got into the final. So there were 3 of us that got through to the final.
Yeah.
So 3 from the semi-final.
Yeah.
So there's probably a spoiler alert because your viewers might
Well, it
not
doesn't
want
matter
to
now.
know.
No, because
okay.
I think we're at the stage now where we can reveal everything because your producer did give quite a bit away. Yeah, I forgot to tell her I was trailing this as a surprise. So
okay.
tell us what happened.
So three of us, well, actually for the final, 3 of us had to go away and do sort of like a challenge. So we all went to different places first of all, and I went to Brighton and I had to paint the pier. So that was part of the final. So everyone the 3 people went somewhere different, and then we took those paintings to London, and we did the final painting challenge, which was another 4-hour challenge in Greenwich Park.
Blimey.
So we were right at the observatory, and we were overlooking the whole of London, which was...
That's a beautiful landscape there, isn't it?
It is. It's quite daunting,
But so much to cover.
Yeah, I didn't cover much of it.
Where do you go?
I focused on the Greenwich Park itself.
Right, okay.
A little bit of the Queen's House and College at the back.
Yeah.
It was a really, really tough day.
Yeah.
But I won.
You won?
I won the whole thing.
So you are Sky Arts Landscape Painter
Artist of the Year.
2018.
Indeedy.
Fantastic.
I know, and
So-
it's like it
What did
hasn't
you
sunk
feel?
in right now.
What did you feel when you won it?
I cried.
Yeah, I would cry.
Yeah, I cried for a good 10 minutes, my mum said. Then I was in utter shock. I was exhausted actually for days, and then I was in utter shock, and I've been in shock since.
Yeah.
But then I had to go to Macedonia to paint the commission because the
So
prize-
let's so you won the thing. So from that you got a commission, which is for what?
So it was a £10,000 commission.
Woohoo!
I know to paint a commemorative painting for the Imperial War Museum for the 100-year anniversary end of First World War.
Right.
But a particularly forgotten landscape in Macedonia, which for those of you who don't know is...
I don't know anything about the Macedonia.
Macedonia
There's a
is
battle
north
out there
of
or
Greece.
something, wasn't
Yeah, so north of Greece. So there was World War One. People mostly know about the trenches in northern France and Belgium, but there was war all over the world, obviously, because it's World War.
Yeah.
But in Macedonia and the hills of Bulgaria and Serbia, there were a lot of battles that were not really recognised.
Yeah.
So there was a particular place called Costarino Ridge.
Right.
So I went on a tractor ride, which you will
I saw the
fully
picture.
appreciate.
Massey Ferguson 35 you went on.
Oh, it was a
We used to
Massey
have one of those
Ferguson
here.
35. Well, there
Yeah, I
we
knew what it
are.
was as
You
soon as
knew
I
what
saw
it
the
was.
picture. Lovely little tractor.
It was, and we were in a trailer on the back of it, and they took us up this mountain, and to the view, which is the view I've painted for the main commission.
So that was that a scene of a battle in World War One that you're doing?
And it was to commemorate. I mean, it was the losses. Obviously, there were losses on both sides, but for the English point of view, there was a lot of Irish Fusiliers and Irish troops that were part of that massive loss. It was a really difficult battle from Rocky Peak, and the remaining troops that survived retreated over to Costarino Ridge. So
I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the picture and you can tell us.
Yeah,
Talk us through it really, because so this is this is the actual landscape that you went to see, is it?
It is, yes. I mean, I've got hundreds of photos that I took on,
Right.
obviously, when I was out there, because the time you've got on the mountain, you know, ideally you'd spend days up there and things. But actually, you might want to look at this red picture.
Oh yeah.
I don't know over here.
We did look a bit at the start, didn't we?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
So
remember.
this is actually
so
what
that's.
I did actually when I was out there. So
Yeah. So this is like your sketch to give you kind of a feel of it and everything, right?
Colours and shapes and things. So this in front is actually the rocks of the peak we were standing on, and then this green ridge behind is the Costarino Ridge, and then there's mountains and hills in the background, and it just goes on forever.
Right.
So that was a sketch I did out there, and then sorry, I probably should say.
It's all right.
So here again, this is a slightly different view of the rocks at the front, and then the valley to the right.
Yeah.
With this is the end of the ridge here.
So this is the battle scene of where it was and everything.
Yeah.
Did you say to me a while ago that it's to do with another artist?
Yes, there was another artist who is a famous British artist called Stanley Spencer.
Right.
And he was an artist sort of before the World War I started. And he ended up going out to Macedonia as part originally of the medical corps.
Right.
But then he became a sort of ground troops person as such towards the end. So, but during his time as part of the medical corps, he came back and he painted a painting called Travois Arriving, which was basically painted from his memories out in Macedonia. So I, as part of the commemoration and prize, I went to see these famous paintings of Stanley Spencer.
And where are they?
That particular painting's in the Imperial War Museum in Manchester.
So it's linking in quite nicely with the Imperial War Museum. I can see the connection now.
And he was actually in Macedonia, and he would have been helping troops that came back from this battle, potentially, as part of he looked after, he helped people on and off the stretchers and took them to the dressing stations where they had their wounds dressed and things. And I also visited the church where which was turned into a sort of like little hospital. So it was just, the whole thing was just
quite an
amazing.
experience.
Yeah, it
really
was fascinating insight into World War I as well.
Yeah.
Because we hear about the trenches.
I know, that's very true actually. My I think it was my great uncle fought in Gallipoli in World War One. He came back. He was from the farm and he went out there and came back. But there is a whole campaign it's very focused. World War One, I think, especially in England, it's very focused on the Somme and the trenches and everything. But like you said, it's World War. It wasn't just a little bit of France, was it? It was quite other bits.
And some of the troops that were in Gallipoli came back and actually went to this area in Greece and Serbia to fight again. So they were already pretty exhausted.
Crikey,
didn't have
what a life.
supplies, and some of them came. Some of them were fresh from England as well and hadn't ever left England, and suddenly they're in northern Greece, and it was.
And the thing is, massive shock for those people, because there wasn't the travel that we've got now. There wasn't the internet or anything. A lot of the people who went out to these places had probably never been abroad, never experienced that sort of climate or area,
And one of the biggest problems was malaria. So nearly as many people were casualties from malaria as were from the actual battles themselves. Sort of.
The medicine wasn't as good. Didn't even have penicillin then, did they?
I mean, Stanley Spencer himself, I think, got malaria several times.
Crikey.
And so the amount of troops that went up there and almost straight away had to come back because they were poorly. So there was
a lot to take in when you're doing just a painting, if you know what I mean. It's more than just a painting, isn't it? It's about everything else, the wider aspect of it, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I mean, in the landscape itself, I've put in this section at the back, which isn't like that now, but it is actually taken from a photograph from the land at the time.
Sort of fields, is it? Something? Or sort of enclosures or something?
Yeah, I mean, what they did was the fields that were... now they're all green like this, but back then the troops stripped away all of the trees and all of the foliage so that they could fight as a flat surface.
Really?
You know what I mean? So the landscape was almost sort of completely shredded.
Very barren then.
Barren, yeah.
Right.
So this is a bit from one of the photographs.
Okay, so you sort of merge the two almost to get a bit of the past and a bit of the future, if you like. Yeah,
because otherwise a landscape is just kind of, you could just paint trees in a valley and that's how it is.
Yeah.
But I think
that's interesting.
Somehow you need some way of looking at what's gone before. And at the front of the painting here, there's cotton flowers. These pink one. Yeah. And that was Spencer put one of those in his painting. And actually, you wouldn't know it if you saw his painting now. You'd kind of think, what's that big pink one at the front? So.
Oh, that's interesting to know. I mean, it's quite nice you're giving me a bit of background of the picture, because it's too easy sometimes to walk by pictures and not know everything. You know, you just see it on what it is, and not know what the context of the bit at the bottom is or the bit at the top.
Absolutely, and I think that's my desire really, is that people kind of, if they go to see paintings in galleries and museums, if they read a little bit about kind of even if they just read the blurb at the side, it tells you sort of what was going on in the artist's mind, or what the landscape was about. And this one as well is going to go.
Where's that one going to?
Well, it's the slightly imaginary landscape. It's the view, again, this is Rocky Peak, but it's in fog, so there wasn't fog when I was there.
Will that be in the Imperial War Museum?
Well, I don't know whether they're going to unveil it or not, so I'm just taking it up with
Take
me
it
as
up,
well.
and okay. So, when's this going to be in the Imperial War Museum?
Well, it'll be by the time your viewers see this. I suspect it will still be up as part of their centenary. Because
the actual broadcast of this unveiling, you're filming it this week, are you, in London?
Yeah.
But that's not going to be on TV for another month. So I presume they would still keep it there, because otherwise everyone would go and see the programme, turn up. Where's the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we took that away.
Yeah. I mean, the painting's going to be part of their permanent collection.
Okay. And is it a specific exhibition?
I think all the War Museums, Imperial War Museums, have all got special World War I commemorative exhibitions on at the time.
Okay.
So, they're all doing special things for this.
So that's amazing. So the people who are watching this video now, if they're in London and get a chance to go to the Imperial War Museum, they can see something created on this farm.
On your farm.
And it's going to end. I'm really amazed that this is brilliant. If I get the opportunity, I will go up to London and see it. It's whether I can find the time, but I would love to see it. And final question, okay?
No, before that, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, that's right. Do you know what? It's been lovely. It really has been lovely having you here. I've loved watching all this develop, you know?
It's been great.
It's really interesting, and I've got my yellow trailer in, which
I've stuck all my
stuck your art gallery on. Final question. Yeah. Where do you go from here, Jen?
Oh my goodness.
What's the plan? Is there a plan, or is it? Do you think
there's a bit of a plan, but you don't really know what's going to happen with these things. So I'm just going to have a bit of a rest over the next couple of weeks before the programme starts.
Or kicks off.
Yeah, before everything kind of unfolds. Because it's been a really hard summer. It's been great fun, but it's really hard work, and we haven't had a family holiday, which a lot of people don't. But I think I need a rest.
You need to get and not focus on this and do. Yeah, everyone needs a break. Everyone needs a break. I do. I need a holiday every year. I would not have no holiday.
So this year, there hasn't been holiday, but we've done, the nice days out and things, but I need a good rest.
And you need to go, woohoo, I'm landscape artist of the year, yeah, come on.
He wants me to do that.
Come on. That's what we want, Jen. Bless you. Brilliant.
Do you know what? It's so funny because it just hasn't hit me still.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it'll ever hit me. I don't know whether it'll hit me in London. I think when it goes on telly.
Yeah.
Because I saw the adverts.
Well, I think particularly when you get into the Imperial War Museum, it's really real. And
I know.
And there's, who is it going to be there? Is it Joan Bakewell?
So the presenters will be there. That's Joan Bakewell and Stephen Mangan.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so they present the programme. There's also Becky Wright, she's the head of art who commissioned the painting.
So is Joan Bakewell unveiling it? Who's unveiling it?
Yeah, so she'll unveil it with me and Stephen and Becky, I imagine, or Alan. Alan's from the Imperial War Museum as well, and he was out in Macedonia with us, Alan Wakefield, so he's fab.
So it's that's pretty impressive.
And just shout out to the British Salonika Society. So they were people who've got family who were at this particular battle. So there were lots of them out there in Macedonia at the time, and I met lots of them. And they were really lovely people.
Fantastic. So. All right, Jane. Well, brilliant. Thank you. It's been lovely. Thanks very much.
You see, when I get excited, I just do that ridiculous giggle. It's like.
Well, that's your little trademark, though, isn't it? Shows it's real, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It shows it's real. You're a real person. You're not some jumped up, trying to be clever. You're real and lovely and genuine.
From Thornbury.
You're not just a housewife from Thornbury. Thank you, Jen. Brilliant.
Bye.